This is a firestorm.
Hello and welcome, my name is Kyle for the win, and welcome to another best class setup video here in Call of Duty World War II. Today, we are covering the ZK-383 SMG that was added recently with prestiging the Cavalry Division as well as with the new Liberation event. Now, the ZK-383 is a very interesting weapon in the way that it works, as well as how you play with it. Now, this gun has two fire rates, one of them being the slow fire rate and another being the fast fire rate. I really only use fast fire on this gun. The slow fire makes it a hit marker machine, and the gun is also really inconsistent as it already is. So having fast fire is almost a must for this weapon, I've come to figure out. So I have 500 kills about, and with 500 kills, you can pretty much understand how a weapon is going to react and how good a weapon could be. And this weapon is not very good. It's very, very inconsistent, as you can see in the gameplay in the background. Sometimes I get just super quick kills, like instantly. And then there's other occasions where I put like almost an entire clip in an enemy and then get insta-melted. So very interesting weapon here, very inconsistent. I wouldn't say it's the best SMG in the game, but it's not horrible by any means. It's just not very good in my personal opinion. So for the division, for this weapon, as you probably can see, we've gone for the Airborne Division. Now, the reason why I have used the Airborne Division on this gun, on this class, is because the Airborne Division is almost a must with this weapon, because you have that fire guns while sprinting and diving, reload while sprinting, climb over obstacles faster, and no damage from falling, as well as sprint faster over time. That last perk is very key to this weapon, because if you are in a long-range engagement, this gun will not win most of the time. Of course, you can see some long-range gunfight that I do win with this weapon, but that is because of the attachments that I have on it. So we'll get to that eventually, but for right now, we're talking about the division. So, and then just, I don't know, this gun just feels better with the Airborne Division, because it's an SMG. Rushing around is a lot easier with Airborne, as well as with using this weapon. And yeah, so it's just a very, very good division for this weapon, and very effective as well. As for the basic training on this gun, I have gone for forage. Now, I've gone for forage because with that fast fire rate always on for me, I run out of ammo very, very quickly. Especially if I'm going on even a 5-kill streak, I almost run out of ammo every single time. So that is why I use forage, because it gives you resupplied bullets from enemies and over time, as well as extra magazines. So again, have that very max weapon capacity already, and then you can just keep on picking up ammo over and over and over again and never ever run out, which is just fantastic. So let's go ahead and jump into the attachments on this weapon. Probably, of course, the most important part, because as I said, this gun is very inconsistent. I would not recommend that you try using slow fire with it, because it's even more inconsistent with slow fire. Like, honestly, I can't use this weapon with slow fire. I just get beaten out so quickly by, honestly, any weapon in the game. It's kind of crazy. I think out of these 492 kills with this weapon, I've gotten maybe 5 kills with slow fire. That's pretty much it. I mean, this gun just needs a buff, in my opinion. It needs a damage buff, period. It's very inconsistent, but for the attachment, I've gone for extended mags, grip, and advanced rifling. Grip, of course, self-explanatory, reduces the recoil of the weapon. This weapon has quite a lot of recoil, again with fast fire rate, so having that grip makes it a lot easier to handle in a gunfight, and just makes altogether this gun a lot better. Extended mags, again, self-explanatory, so I can continue getting feeds, continue killing, not having to worry about anything, but getting those, getting multi-kills, having a lot of ammo in the clip, so I don't have to worry about reloading, because the reload time is actually pretty slow, especially if you're rushing around with this weapon. You can easily get caught in a big gunfight, and that's just not good. So and then of course advanced rifling. As I said, this gun is very, very inconsistent, and that advanced rifling helps a lot with the inconsistency, so that you can, not, fight that inconsistency. But it is still an inconsistent weapon. It doesn't make any sense, really. This gun is very, very weird. I like the gun. It's pretty fun to use, but again, kind of underpowered. I think it needs a little bit of a buff, a little bit of a damage buff, and it'll be a very, very powerful, strong weapon. But then, jumping into my secondary, I've gone for the 9mm SAP with high caliber. Just in case I get low on ammo, I can pull this pistol out and get a nice kill, because of course this is one of my favorite pistols in the game. I think it blows away any other pistol with kills. Just such a good pistol. The damage is good, and you can shoot it really, really fast if you have a good trigger finger. As for my lethal and tactical, I've once again gone for the frag grenade and the British concussion grenade. There's not really any point in using anything else, in my opinion, just for sheer practicality and not really wanting to change it up really that much. I barely use lethals and tacticals as it is. I just throw my stun grenade to see if I know where an enemy is, see if I can find one, and then the frag grenade just to lob it wherever, just if I think an enemy's there, or just to know where an enemy is. That's pretty much how I use lethals and tacticals. If I throw a lethal or a tactical, it's mostly just to find where an enemy is. Maybe get a kill every once in a while, but that doesn't really happen too often in all honesty. So that is pretty much everything for the class. Let's go ahead and look into my kill streaks now for this class, and I've gone for basically recon aircraft, glide bomb, and artillery barrage. I recently prestige, so these are pretty much going to be standard score streaks. These are the standard score streaks for this game, so I don't really use anything else, honestly. There's not really any need to use anything else. So yeah, recon aircraft, of course, glide bomb, all these are pretty self-explanatory. I just like putting this artillery barrage on objectives and other things like that, just because they can get a lot of kills if they are put on an objective. So that is absolutely everything for the class, guys. I'd say this is probably the best class for this weapon, from my personal opinion. Of course, you guys can use whatever you want, in all honesty, but there's not very many attachments for this weapon. There's literally only 9 attachments versus, other SMGs that have 10. So, there's just minus rapid fire. So, but yeah, I like the iron sights a lot too on this weapon, which is why I don't have a red dot or anything. If you get used to the iron sights on really any weapon in Call of Duty, there's no reason to use an iron sight, use a sight, just because there's way better attachments for weapons if you don't have a sight on it. So there we go, guys. That is the class. I really hope you enjoyed another Call of Duty World War II best class set of video. I know it is always DLC weapons, but those are the weapons that are in demand to know what I use on these weapons, because it's just really simple. DLC weapons are something that is new, and people haven't been experimenting with them since launch. With the base weapons like the BAR and the PPSH and the Type 100 and so on and so forth, people already know what attachments they like on that weapon, so there's no really need in me covering those. But I will do some base weapon classes just in case you guys don't have these DLC weapons, because I know everyone doesn't have these. But I will put on the full class on the screen now so you guys can see absolutely everything. And yeah, so leave a like if you guys did enjoy for another Call of Duty World War II best class set of video. If you guys want me to cover any weapon down below, leave it in the comment section below. I'll try and get that weapon out and done as soon as I can. But yeah, I'll see you guys on another Call of Duty World War II or Fortnite video very, very soon.